All right. You are all welcome once again to the Green Hill campus of the Ghana Institute of Management and Public Administration, GIMPA, and to our law faculty over here. We are very happy to see you. And since time is already gone, let me move straight to the matters on the program. The first thing to do today will be to introduce our chairman, and my good self will take care of that. So, ladies and gentlemen, our chairman for today's event is a justice of the Court of Appeal of the Republic of Ghana, and he's currently the dean of this faculty, the Gimpa Law faculty. He also serves as the director of the Judicial Training Institute, JTI, which provides continuous legal education for judges in Ghana. Our chairman holds a Bachelor of Arts degree and a qualifying certificate in law from the University of Ghana and the Ghana School of Law, respectively. Our chairman also holds an executive master's in public administration, as well as a master's in criminology and criminal justice from the University of London, United Kingdom. And he holds a second master's LM in judicial studies from Duke University School of Law in the United States. Our chairman has many publications to his credit. He is an astute jurist and academic with recognized competencies in many fields. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me with a very warm round of applause. Let's welcome our chairman, Professor Justice Dennis Ajay, to give his opening remarks.
Miss Enam Antonio, thank you for the kind words. She did not introduce herself as a lecturer at this faculty. She is a lecturer at the faculty. Your Excellency, Ambassador Ron Stricker, Ambassador the Royal Netherlands Embassy in Accra, who has been helping this school, our resource persons, I know some from Gambia, from Kenya, from Congo, and from Togo. Dear lecturers, dear students, good morning. This is a unique program, and having been called upon to chair, I say and I deem it as a privilege to be with you this morning. The program is a very unique and important one because we want students to know more about international criminal law and justice. Our knowledge is limited to our national laws. We do criminal law, we do criminal procedure, but when we talk about them, it is national. We have to go international. So how do we go international? Then we have to learn something about the international bodies. And in this regard, it is the International Criminal Court that the program requires you to know their setup, workings, and operations. As the tradition says, because of lack or absence of knowledge, my people perish. You are here to acquire knowledge, to search for knowledge, to undergo training. And it is training which makes a person perfect. I would therefore urge you that you take notice, you take this program seriously. At the end of the day, it will enrich your respective capacities. On leaving here, you must go and demonstrate to your people that the 3-day program has enriched my competencies. And now I can tell you about the ICC, its workings, operations. And I will also urge you to ask questions from your resource persons. They are here to train you you must ask them questions in areas that are gray, areas you don't know. At these programs, you shouldn't feel shy. It is an opportunity for you because it is a selected program. It is not every student who is here. We have students from University of Ghana, GIMPA, KNUST, and we even have foreign students from Nigeria, University of London, and South Africa. On behalf of the rector of the university and the deputy rector, and on behalf of the faculty, I take this opportunity to welcome all of you, especially our ambassador, who has become a member of this faculty. Welcome you. And I welcome you all. Once you have to spend a day or two or more, all of you, you are becoming alumni of this great institute. You are welcome.
Thank you, my lord. Next on the program, we have the statement of purpose. And to help us do that is the head of the African Center of International Criminal Justice, ACICJ, here at Gimpa Law, and he is Dr. Kweku Ajimanbudu. Doc.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. I don't know if you can hear me. Thank you all for coming. And as the dean and the chairperson of this event rightly mentioned, it is a select group of people that are here today. We did not accept all applications. As you're aware, you went through the application process where you had to send in a statement of interest as well as your CVs, and you got responses, and that is why you're here. So basically, the reason why we're gathered here today is to train you in international criminal law and justice. So as the dean rightly pointed out, the next 2 days is going to be quite intensive, and you can see from the program that you already have that it's going to be a quite intensive program. So you should, and I believe the resource persons will be better at letting you dispel or put away any preconceptions that you have prior to today. And just take your time and listen to the presentations and the discussions. And at the end of the day, obviously you ask questions, there will be disagreements, there will be arguments and all that. And that's the beauty of the law. So the purpose of this gathering is just to welcome you all and to let you know that the next 2 days is going to be quite insightful, and you would learn a lot. As you can see from the program, there is a competition at the end of the second day where the winners may win, or the winning group will win some prizes, which we won't disclose yet. You'll find out at a later time. But I also like to welcome you all to GIMPA and to the ACICJ, and I hope that the next 2 days will be fruitful and will be quite insightful for you. So thank you all, and have a good training. Thank you.
See if this works. Okay. Next, we have a message of support from the ambassador, the Royal Netherlands Embassy in Ghana, Ambassador Ron Stryker. Ambassador, we could bring you this if you would like to sit down. All right. Round of applause, please, for Ambassador.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for offering me this microphone, and for the offer also to sit down, actually, or to do it sitting down, to speak to you sitting down. But as I have been recently, a couple of minutes, of course, been appointed as a member of GIMPA, I would like to use this beautiful spot. I've gotten a bit used to that because I've been here before, but I really am very happy to be here today. For a couple of reasons, Mr. Chairman, if I may say so, and thank you for your very kind words. And the first is that I'm very happy that we have been able to continue the African Center for International Criminal, criminal law and of course justice, that we have been able to continue this here at GIMPA. I think this is a good achievement. We started it in 2016, 2017. It was even more or less launched by the special prosecutor of the ICC in The Hague. She came to Ghana to launch this, and basically it ended with a couple of training sessions throughout 17 and 18, but we wanted to go on with it because we think it is very important. So I'm very happy today here that this is the first training of a cooperation that the Dutch embassy, that is also the Dutch government, has with GIMPA, and particularly with the Faculty of Law, to give information on international criminal law and justice. We don't have only trainings. I think the center will have also publications, lectures, and so forth. So I'm very happy to be right with you here at the start of another, I hope, very informative but also inspirational period. And in that context and in that framework, I would like to thank GIMPA, the rector and of course the dean of the faculty, for giving us this opportunity and organizing this center here at GIMPA. It's very, very important. And my particular thanks also go to Mr. Kweku, Dr. Kweku Agemambudu, the director of the center, because he's not only a director, he's the driver. He is the big driver of the center. And I'm looking forward to a couple of very good years with you, Kweku. Thank you for your support, but also for the inspiration you gave to us when we set up the next couple of years of our cooperation. It's great. Now, yeah, you would like to give him applause. I think that's right. I think it's right, absolutely right, very much justified. Now, secondly, I really am very happy that we have so many students, law students in particular, not only from Ghana, but also from Nigeria, South Africa, and I understand also from the United Kingdom, because the essence is, of course, that we would like to spread the word through Africa, and in this context, in particular, the English-speaking part of Africa. I have a colleague in Dakar, in Senegal, who does a bit the francophone part of West Africa. So we work together very closely, and we are very happy with that. Now, I'm not going to make a long speech on the importance of international criminal law and justice and the ICC and so forth, because I have so many very able colleagues from the various countries, from the Gambia, from Kenya, from Togo, and from the Democratic Republic of Congo, from the ICC in The Hague, as a matter of fact, who are much more able to do that than myself. But I just wanted to say that the international criminal law and justice, and then I take a sort of the best embodiment of that, and that is the ICC, is basically there to fight against impunity. If it comes to war crimes, if it comes to genocide, and it comes to international crimes against mankind, that is the purpose. Perpetrators should know that their deeds, that their crimes should not go unpunished. And the victims should know that as well. The family members of the victims should know that as well. That's a very important thing in times of crisis, that in the end people understand that if you do something wrong, you are going to face justice. And that is, of course, I think that says it basically all. On a personal level, if you want to feel or you want to see how bad things can go, just watch the movies Hotel Rwanda or Shooting Dogs. Maybe you have more of them. Has anybody seen those movies here? Apart from the high table, I'm sorry, but anybody in the room seen both movies or one of those? Can you raise their hands? Your hands, please. Okay, fine. No, because in that terrible, because they depict terrible events, as we all know, of course, in 1994 in Rwanda. And if you go through that and you see the massacres and the things going on, you know how important it is at the later stage that the perpetrators face justice. To the extent possible, of course, but they face justice. Important for them to know when they do their acts, but also important very much to know, I think, for the victims. And that, I think, explains also why, if we go and you have a lecture on this, I saw in the very interesting program, which you're going to have these couple of days, when during the trials the victims can speak, they can give testimony, they can talk about these things. I think this is so fundamental right and so important to them and also for us, that alone, I think, makes it important to have a good international criminal system, of course, and justice system. That is fundamentally, I think, important. So that is, of course, what we are going to talk about in the next couple of days. Now, we have, of course, a bit of a special position, we think, as the Netherlands, because the ICC is in The Hague. And it is in The Hague because over the years, over many years, The Hague has become a little bit the sort of international legal capital, a little bit the legal capital of the work, because you have the Peace Palace, the International Court of Justice already, I think, for almost a century, and the ICC, which was established, of course, in, I think 20 years ago, 21 years ago now, 20 years ago, is the newest branch to that big tree. So we are the promoters also of that international justice and international criminal justice as well. So that is the reason also that we are very glad that we can do things here jointly with GIMPA. Now you will go, I think, throughout the training, you will go through what were the observations when the 20th anniversary of this ICC was celebrated, and also the criticism on the court for being slow, maybe it's expensive, it may be biased, which is a very important argument, I think, within the African context. You should talk about these things. No, we should talk about these things as well, because it is important that we get support from all the countries in Africa too. And in that context, by the way, I'm very pleased to note, and I read some reports very early this morning, that the atmosphere among the African countries and the comments from many African countries during the last, I think it is the annual State Party conference, was much more positive. There were attempts before, of course, for instance, of South Africa to get out, but it has not materialized, and I do not even think that South Africa intends to do that anymore. So that's a very good thing, because in the end, it is about the fight against impunity and to do something for the victims. That is what we all want. So having said this, I really wish you, and I'm talking to the students now, a very good couple of days of training. You are, most of you are, I think, young today, but you will be the leaders of Africa over the next couple of years, or in many years, of course, to come. So I think it's very important that you are aware of the importance of international criminal justice and law. And I hope that in this context, of course, these days will serve you right. Thank you once again, GIMPA, as well. And thank you once again, resource persons here at the table, for making the effort to bring this very important subject really to the forefront. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ambassador. Okay, it is now time for the keynote address. And to do that for us is Jean-Jacques Badibanga. Jean-Jacques is a senior trial lawyer at the ICC, the Office of the Prosecutor. And we're happy to have him here once again to share his thoughts on the workings of the court. So let's welcome Jean-Jacques, give us a keynote address.
Thank you. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Mr. Dean, His Excellency, the Ambassador, dear colleagues. I'm supposed to give a keynote, but after having heard the Ambassador, I don't know if there's still something that I could say, because he really addressed all the points, everything I wanted to say. Maybe except that I'm very honored and very pleased to be here again. I don't know why, but I just like Ghana, and I like this organization. I like this institution. So I'm very happy to be here, and also honored to have the opportunity to say a few words. As you already noticed, I have this terrible Francophone accent. It's because I'm the Congolese element on those who are in front of you today. But still, I will make the effort to just convey the message from my boss, because I have a boss, and I'm very pleased to work with her. It's Madame Fatou Bensouda, who is the prosecutor from the International Criminal Court, which, as the ambassador indicated, she's very supportive. All of this starts from just a discussion she had with some interlocutors in this country, and since then I came 6 or 7 times. I'm meeting journalists, students, prosecutors, law enforcement people. So this is how things goes. And I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but I will just let you know that there is now a very strong partnership between the ACICJ, the African Center of International Criminal Justice, the GIMPA Law Faculty, and the ICC. We were very pleased to have last week delegation was at the court, and from what I heard, it was a very positive meeting again, and this is opening doors for more cooperation, more close ties. So it's really something which is developing, and I think that on that line again, Ghana could be an example. There's not that much African organizations which are working so closely with us. A lot of people are proposing things, but going to this point, trying to spread the views from the ICC, but also the critics, the whole discussion, but try to put that on the table and meeting people from different places in Africa. It's something kind unique, and for that we really have to congratulate the organizers, and accept the fact that now I can say he's not only a director, not only a driver, he's also a friend, and I'm thinking about Kwaku, but I should also say that he's a partner from the ICC, and it's on that capacity that I really want to praise him for that. So we have 2 days to discuss about the ICC, 2 days to discuss about the international criminal justice. More broader, we have to discuss about crimes against humanity, war crimes, terrible things which are happening all over the world, but especially in Africa. I hope, and I'm speaking here with my colleague, Dairo Santana, who's there at the end of the table, and I'm sure the other lecturer. I hope that at the end of these 2 days, we'll all have the same idea about accountability for these horrible things. Let me just call them horrible things, because you can qualify them as war crimes, crimes against humanity, or any other label you will put in there. But regardless of the label, there's a victim behind any of these things happening. And this is what we have to keep in mind. And someone needs to be accountable. None of us would want to suffer and have the perpetrator getting away with with what it's doing, and it's exactly the same for these victims. So the idea of accountability for these crimes is now taken in consideration in Africa. Regardless of the criticism that people can make, we realize that now our politicians, our leaders, are thinking before doing some of these things, planning some of these activities. Why am I mentioning the leaders? It's because the type of crimes that we're talking about are only crimes which are happening in some context. This context will be political. This context will be someone wants to take part of a territory. Someone wants to take control over the power. These are all political views. Someone wants just to win the elections, or by all costs, by all means, being said, appointed or recognized as the winner of the election. And for that, we have what we call post-electoral violence, campaign of rape, campaign of terror, campaign of killing, campaign of arrest. So those who are behind this needs to be accountable for it. This is why all the time that we have this discussion, even if, again, I agree with the ambassador, it kind of goes down, there's always the point of, does the ICC prosecuting only African leaders? That's the big question that you certainly all heard about. But I think that is it's not the good question. It's a wrong way of approaching this issue. The point is not about what treatment for the African leaders, what is happening for the African leaders accused of these crimes. The question that you should ask yourself, the real debate is, what about the victim's right? Anytime you hear about any crisis, put to yourself the question, what about the victims in this crisis? Who are the victims? What are the venues for them? Where can I go to have a kind of justice? And if you take that question, then you change all the parameters. Suddenly it's no longer important to know if one single person whose president is now humiliated by being prosecuted. The question will be, are the victims right to accuse this person? Is the ICC or any other organization right to prosecute this person because he did something to the victims, because there are victims there? So this is what we'll be discussing. Of course, we are open to, and I'm saying we will discuss because we're not here to teach you, but we're more here to discuss with you. We'll convey a message through the discussions, but this is what we would like to discuss with you. Come with all the views, and we'll be very happy to respond to discuss that with during these 2 days. So we'll talk about the international criminal justice. We'll talk about Africa in general. We'll talk about the rest of the world. We'll talk about the assessment of the on the ICC at this stage. Is it a court worth keeping? Should we continue with the ICC? Not. What other options exist? What do we have in Africa as system or the institutions? So we'll be very happy to go through that. And I just hope that at the end of these 2 days, you'll be equipped to, in what, 5 years, 10 years from now, when you'll be the big people making decisions, deciding for other people's life or other people's destiny, you'll be well equipped and you'll take the wise and good decision for them. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Jean-Jacques. I think it's a good time to introduce the rest of the members on the high table to you. So starting from my immediate left is Mr. Edmund Foley. Mr. Foley is the Director of Programs at the Institute of Human Rights and Development in Africa, based in Gambia. Mr. Foley. Next to Mr. Foley is Miss Evelyn Asala. She's a lecturer at the Faculty of Law, University of Nairobi, Kenya. Ma'am. And then on the far end of the high table, we have Mr. Is it Mr. Still? Dairu Santana from International Corporation. Sorry, he's an International Corporation advisor at the ICC. Dairu, I'm told I should give you some time to say a few words. So, Edmund, starting with you.
Thank you very much, Dean and Ambassador. It's good to see you again. Yes, the Ambassador and I share another love in choral music. But for me, it's also a homecoming. What she did not say is that I was a lecturer here until a few months ago and head of Department for Public Law. But in my new role also now as a director of programs, I do very much have an interest in international criminal law, and it's exciting to be here as we also explore the synergies between the protection of human rights and criminal justice at the international level. I say so because since assuming duty from the 1st of August, I've worked extensively with the Gambia Center for Victims of Human Rights Violations under former President Yahya Jammeh. And we are documenting cases of extrajudicial killings and enforced disappearances, leading possibly to criminal prosecution of the president and all those who took part in those things. But for my center, we essentially do litigation and training and, of course, research. So we want to see how we can strengthen human rights protection through international criminal justice. So I'll be happy to hear your ideas as we interact over these 2 days. And of course, to look forward to someday some of you becoming fellows in our institute to continue that work. So it's a pleasure meeting you, and I hope we have a fruitful 2 days together.
Thank you very much, Professor and Ambassador and my colleagues on the high table. This is a great opportunity for me to be amongst you. It's my first time in Ghana, and I'm looking forward to enjoy the Ghanaian kindness as well as as we discuss matters concerning international criminal justice. I met Dr. Kweku in another forum. We call ourselves African experts in international criminal law. And we try to find out the best way that academicians can also contribute to justice and the fight against impunity. And it's because of this meeting that he invited me in this training as well. And I look forward just to continue the discussions of international criminal accountability, victim rights, and how do we as academicians, as practitioners, as people who are looking forward to get into the various professions, how do we best contribute to the discussions of impunity, international criminal justice, and the rights of victims. I'm glad when the keynote speaker, Jean Jacques, mentions about putting victims at the forefront. I think coming from Kenya, we have experienced parts of this post-conflict situations, post-election violence. And as my colleague here, Edmond, puts it, it's really not an interesting or funny situation. When you look at the victims and you want to see what kind of remedy is the victim going to get. And therefore, it's important, even as we discuss this, let us put victims at the forefront and forget about several other destructive discussions. Thank you very much. I look forward to a constructive 2 days.
Dear Ambassador, Mr. Dean, dear colleagues on the high table, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I'm very pleased to be here again, probably as much as Jean-Jacques. We've started this process, I think, back in 2017, after the prosecutor visited GIMPA for the opening. And on her behalf, again, our sincere greetings. She's been keen on allowing us to be here because the general belief is that the ICC is far from the affected communities most of the time because everything is happening in The Hague. And in terms of reaching out, this kind of program is one way for us to be able to discuss what is happening in The Hague, what the cases are about, what is it that we're doing, and about the way forward, so that you are also able to understand what is happening and communicate with other people who may not have the opportunity to be here. And we're doing that in different countries, but I think that we, again, we have to actually praise the work that GIMPA has been doing over the past few years to allow a variety and a number of categories of people to be here and to discuss and debate about ICC. We are coming from the ICC, it doesn't mean that we know everything. Sometimes the questions you ask, the criticisms you're making allows us also to kind of question the way we approach things. And I hope that the 2 days debate we're going to have, discussion we're going to have, would allow us both on this side and on the other side to understand better what the ICC do or what we could do more for the communities that are affected by the crimes that are being committed. I can tell you, usually when we have all been students some point, and we tend to think that, okay, the experts are on the other side, so they know best. I would welcome your views. I want you to take the floor to ask questions. You may disagree with us, and we have to agree to disagree. That's a point, but it would be good for us to have a proper engagement, open discussions. Obviously, we may not have enough time to discuss everything here, so whenever we have the break, don't hesitate to come to us and discuss. It's about international criminal law, international criminal justice, but the reality is it's about the dignity of human being, and that is the discussion we will be having over the next 2 days. I thank you again.
Thank you, members of the high table. If you look on the program, we were supposed to have a address from the special guest speaker, who is or was supposed to be the Honorable Minister of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration. She has sent her apologies at the last minute because she has been taken away on something very important that she could not reassign. So please have her apologies. And let's move on to the next thing on the program, which is the chairman's closing remarks. My Lord.
Thank you, Miss Antonio. Your Excellency, once more, members of the high table, lecturers, my dear students, everything that has a beginning must have an end. We started at an hour ago, and we have to wind up to enable you to go to caucus and discuss why you are here. I always, when we talk about marriage, I think about only two quotations, which are dear to my heart. The first one was by Alexander the Pope, who said that a little learning is a dangerous thing. Drink deep or taste not the Parian spring. So once you have come here to learn, you must make maximum use of the 3 days. Then my last one, Joseph Addison, who is a renowned philosopher who lived in the BCs, in his book, The Guardian, this is what he said. Let me quote. We all know about virtue as the apex of man's life and how he compares learning to virtue. Quote, marriage is indeed that which next to virtue, truly and essentially raises one man above another. So you are here to be raised above others who are not here. And little learning is dangerous. So learn as much as you can within the 3 days. Ask all questions, and they are here to answer you. And as I did, let me take this advantage to also say just a little bit about what the ambassador said about the director for the center. Dr. Budu, we acknowledge your work. Continue with your good works. Because now there is a bridge. We are gapping the bridge between GIMPA and ICC. You know, we are now going to sell ICC to the whole world, to Ghanaians. Now that you are here, I've seen the media men here. This evening, or even this afternoon, they will be talking about it. So please, let's take advantage of it. Now, whilst winding up, there was a comment that they want to experience Ghanaian kindness. You will go beyond kindness and experience our hospitality. So, on behalf of my own self and the rector, we wish you a happy stay, a happy discussion, and a happy resolution at the end of the program. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you, my Lord. And let's invite again Dr. Kwekwaji Mambudu to give us the vote of thanks as he's shrugging it off and asking me to fill that space. I'd like to say thank you to everyone, especially Your Excellency, the Ambassador, for coming to share with us your time and also to encourage us to keep going with what we have started here at GIMPA. My Lord, we are grateful that you have spent the morning with us. Jean-Jacques and Dairu, it has been good to see you again. And I know, as always, that you will bring some good knowledge and some good experiences to bear on the session. Ma'am, Evelyn, it's already been said. I'm sure, or let me advise you, try and have some wache whilst you're here. Maybe some fufu also. And we hope that you take back to Kenya some good memories of us. Mr. Foley, good to have you again. And thank you to everyone here who has come to participate in this year's training workshop. We hope that, as everyone has said here, you really take the chance to learn, to ask questions, to really think deep about things and enjoy the experience that you will have here at GIMPA. And on that note, I would like to say big thank you to everyone and also bring our program to an end. My name is, as my Lord said, Enam Antonio. I am a lecturer here at GIMPA. Just to say a quick word as the program ends, please remain seated as the members on the high table go out to take the first batch of photos. And then we will call you afterwards to also join them for a photograph session. And then after that, you have your coffee break, and then we'll begin proceedings for the day. So thank you once again. We wish you all the best for the day, and really have a nice time whilst you're here with us. Thank you very much.